All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be working on standard 6.1.1 and 6.2.2, working with integers. So our objective today is to, by the end of this lesson, you will all be able to divide integers with a 90% accuracy rate. If you believe it, you can do it. So let's get ready. First, we're going to start with just a little bit of practice dividing regular positive whole numbers. We've been doing this since like second grade or first grade. So let's start. Pause the screen and see what kind of answers you get for these problems. All right, now check your answers. How'd you do? Did you get them all right? I hope so. If you can do this and you understand how to multiply integers, then you can divide integers. Now, let's take a look. How would we use this in real life? Well, if I invested money in smart technologies, and let's say the value of my stock dropped, of course, we know with smart technologies, it's not going to drop, it's going to go up. But for some reason or another, it dropped by $63 in 7 days. What integer would represent the average change each day? And this could be a way that you might see dividing with integers in real life. We'll come back to this problem at the end. Next, like I said, if you can multiply integers and you can divide whole numbers, then you can divide integers. Here are some practice problems. We're going to look for some patterns that we might recognize while dividing these integers. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to imagine that there aren't any negative signs whatsoever. If there aren't any negative signs, then I have 42 divided by 6 is equal to 7. Pretty easy. But now, since I have a negative sign, that tells me my answer is going to be negative 7. What do you think the next one would be? Negative 27 divided by 9? That's right, negative 3. And the next one, again, we have one number with a negative. Negative 7 is correct. Now, remember back to multiplying integers when we said a negative times a negative is equal to a positive? Well, this is very similar to that. A negative divided by a negative is equal to a positive. So here we go. Negative 54 divided by 6, or excuse me, divided by negative 6 is equal to 9. Alright? Negative 21 divided by negative 3 is 7. What do you think negative 18 divided by negative 3 is? That's right, 6. See if you could do these last ones on your own. Pause the screen, and then we'll go through them very quickly. All right, ready to go through these. We have one negative sign, so this is a negative 2. This would be a negative 4. And the last one, also negative 4. Notice it doesn't matter if there's one negative sign on the divisor or the dividend. Let's go ahead and move on to the next page. Go ahead and take out your notebook, and we're going to take a few notes on these. Dividing integers. If it's a positive divided by a positive, just like whenever you were younger, the answer is going to be a positive. If it's a positive divided by a negative, the answer is a negative. What happens when there's a negative divided by a positive? That's right, negative. And two negatives, or a negative divided by a negative? Oh yes, friends, that's a positive. Did you notice these patterns when we looked at those last problems? Notice. There they are. All right. Now we're back to that problem of the stock market. It dropped $63 in 7 days. So $63 would kind of be like a negative 63. Divided by the 7 days, what do you think the answer is? That's right, negative 9. So we lost about $9. Or we gained negative $9 per day. Moving on, here we have some more challenging practice problems. Go ahead and try these challenging problems. Your answers might even be decimals. Pause the screen and then play it again, and we'll go over the answers. All right, time to go over those answers. What'd you get for that first one? If you got negative 16, you are absolutely correct. And the second one? A negative 7. What can we reveal for the third one? Negative 13. And the fourth one? Oh, a decimal value, 16 and 6/10. Maybe try to write that in a fraction in lowest, as a fraction in lowest terms, or a mixed number, excuse me. Next one, 5/10. Do you know what the equivalent fraction is? Equivalent fraction? Yes, it's 1/2. And that is a positive, because two negatives, when you're dividing, equal a positive. The next one, negative 11. Remember, when there's a decimal in the divisor, before you actually divide, you should be moving that decimal to the right. But if you move one to the right, you must move the dividend decimal to the right as well, because we're multiplying them each by 10. And the last one, that's right, negative 6/10. Maybe try to convert that into a fraction and then simplify it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this helped you with not multiplying, but today we worked on dividing integers. If you want some extra practice, go to my website, jbzweb.com. Under Math, you'll find the Integers and Basic Algebra tab, and on that site, you will find plenty of practice games with skill-specific practice games. All right, well, see ya.